Hey everybody, so it's official now. I'm moving to America, New York City specifically, the borough of Brooklyn specifically, Crown Heights neighborhood specifically. I'm not telling you my address. My girlfriend's shaking her head. She's like, don't tell people where you live. No, I'm not gonna tell you my address. But yeah, I just got word from the US government. My application for a visa as an individual, what does it say? Individual of extraordinary ability or accomplishment was approved. So I'm heading down for the new year. I'll tell you more about my job in a second. Crazy excited to start doing what I'm doing. But first, because I'm a gigantic space nerd, I just need to emphasize the fact that according to the US government now, I am officially a motherfucking alien. No, but seriously, I got evidence right here. I don't think I'm allowed to show you that visa, but so that's two crazy pieces of extraterrestrial news that happened recently. Number one, Gaia's eye is an alien according to the US government. Number two, I don't know what planet you've been living on, and I don't really know why people aren't losing their shit over this, but last week the US government officially released footage taken from a fighter plane off the West Coast in 2004 that shows an object that the best military minds, aerospace engineers, astrophysicists have concluded, in the words of the military official in charge of this program, is an aircraft that is, quote, not in the inventory of the United States military or any other military that they're aware of. On top of that, it's not just the video, which I'll post below, which you can see. It is radar evidence. It is numerous sightings coming from the military. This is insane. I really don't understand why this isn't the biggest piece of news in the world. And if you think I'm joking, listen, I'm somebody who never actually paid attention to this kind of thing and didn't take it seriously until last week, but I think the source of the information really matters. If any of this sounds hard to believe, I will post the CNN interview with the former director of this program below. I'll post the footage below. Let me know what you think about it, because I mean, I've got no explanation. The best minds in the military and scientific minds have no explanation of this planet. So let me know what you think about it, and definitely make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell button next to the subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a video about this next week where I'm going to be getting in depth as far as what evidence did the military present to us and what does it mean to us. But back to what's going on Earth. So basically, I can't, because I signed a non-disclosure agreement, I can't really tell you the full details of what my job is and who I work for yet. But what I can tell you is I'm gonna be working in documentary film. What I can tell you is I'm gonna be working with a director who, in my opinion, is one of the greatest filmmakers who's made documentaries on the subject of what's happening on this planet environmentally, on the subject of animal issues as well. And I'm really biased right now, so if you don't believe my opinion, he's got an Academy Award to back that up. So I'm extremely excited to tell you more about that, and I can't really give you any more details until the first movie comes out. Actually be working on multiple films at the same time. Extremely exciting topics and subject matter, but I'll have to tell you one by one as the films come out, because we can't disclose any information while they're still in production. In order to get this visa, I had to present an application that had 187 pages of evidence to prove that I'm the individual, as I mentioned at the beginning of I don't like bragging about it, so forget about it. You heard
bragging.
You heard what I said. But basically, that 187 pages was essentially all the work I've ever done, music and videos. So this would have been completely impossible if it wasn't for your support. If it wasn't for people encouraging me from the moment I put my first video out back in 2008 or 9 up to the present moment. And everyone who's helped me along the way. My girlfriend's like, I was gonna give you shout outs later, but I'll give you shout outs right now. My girlfriend's the fucking best. She's behind the camera on so much of the work that I do, and she is my assistant director, if you want to put it that way. There's no big idea I've come up with that I haven't bounced off her first, and she's given me, you know, better ideas, feedback. You know, she's the voice in Tell a Friend, that really heavenly voice singing in the background. She's the voice in Anthem for Animals. So shout out to She's right over there. And shout outs to everyone who has helped me along the way. And this is gonna get much, well, you'll see what's gonna happen now, because I'm gonna be working with some extremely exciting partners now in the United States. Now, as far as the elephant in the room, I know a lot of people who know me, who know this channel, are probably wondering how I feel about moving to a country where you know who is president right now. Well, let's just say, first of all, right off the bat, ever since election night, I've been acutely aware, and I'm still aware to this day, that were the United States of America a democracy, as is defined by the English definition of democracy, a country governed by majority rule, Donald Trump would not be president right now. The Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton won the election by an enormous margin, 3 million votes, and were the United States governed democratically, she would be president right now. I've never forgotten that. It's solely thanks to a relic of the slavery era called the Electoral College that we have now. What?
Put your sleeve down.
Yeah, it's better that she cut me off before I get going on trying to attempt to describe that man. It's only, as I was saying, it's only thanks to the tragedy of the Electoral College, and it's not just a relic of the era of slavery. The Electoral College was actually instituted to help reinforce slavery, or rather the power of slave-holding southern states. If you think I'm making that up, check out this amazing article from Time Magazine on the topic. Second of all, especially after what happened recently, where Trump's former national security advisor pled guilty to crimes against the United States, to lying to the FBI. He was facing up to 60 years in prison, potentially, for numerous crimes, and took a plea bargain of 1 to 5 years. Why? So he could snitch on the president. And right now he is snitching all day, every day. Especially after that happened. And just in general, I have absolute and full confidence in the FBI, in the CIA, in the NSA, to catch perhaps one of the least intelligent, sloppiest criminals of all time, who's committed so many crimes that he might get away with 1 or 2 of them. But when you will see, if he doesn't resign in advance, if it actually gets to impeachment, if it gets to trial, you're gonna see dozens of charges on money laundering. There's public information that we already know about that he's committed such crimes. Obstruction of justice he committed on live TV, so that's not even a question. Live on NBC, the dude admitted to firing the FBI director to obstruct justice. And then, of course, on collusion with the Russian dictatorship, which is not technically treason because the United States is not at war with Russia. It can only technically be treason if the United States is at war with another country. But as far as the English definition of what treason is, and as far as what we all understand treason to be, I'm fully confident that Donald Trump is going to go down in history as the biggest traitor in American history. So I don't think he's going to be president for much longer, is what I'm trying to say. As far as Mike Pence, you know, I basically disagree with almost every single one of his policies, but one positive thing I will say about him is he does appear by all intents to be an adult, which is more than I can say for Donald Trump. As much as I have confidence that, yeah, he won't be president much longer, I want to give a false impression, though, that I'm saying, you know, because he's eventually going to be impeached or resigned, that oh, it's all good right now. We don't need to worry about anything because of course, every day he's doing enormous damage, killing an enormous amount of animals. I have a lot of videos and articles you can check out on that, doing an enormous amount of damage to human beings, not just Americans, but worldly damage. And even more crucially, you know, someone who's about to move to New York City, which is the prime target of North Korea, I'm of course uneasy about the potential of nuclear war. At the moment, North Korea doesn't have nuclear warheads that can fit on the missiles that they have that could reach New York. So it's not an immediate threat. It will be a threat in as little as the next few months. I'm more concerned with the people of South Korea, the people of North Korea, the innocent civilians who are fighting for a fascist dictator there, and the potential of millions of lives to be lost on a nuclear war there. So I just want to say, as a human being, as an individual, and as someone, you know, who's about to become an American taxpayer, is my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, that it is the patriotic duty of Vice President Mike Pence and of the entire cabinet of the United States government at this moment to take the safety of the entire planet into account and to enact the 25th Amendment and take the nuclear briefcase away from the child. Okay? This is not a joke. Alec Baldwin playing Donald Trump, that's a joke. All the great comedy this man has created, that's a joke. Donald Trump is not a joke. The man still has over 10,000 nuclear warheads at his fingertips. And the more that the FBI closes in on him and the more impeachment becomes imminent, the more he's going to want a distraction. And Kim Jong-un is right there threatening the United States. So for the safety of the planet, again, my personal opinion, the 25th Amendment is there for someone who's not mentally fit to be president. We have hundreds of psychologists and psychiatrists, as well as military experts, security experts, saying the man is not fit to be the most powerful man on the planet. I'm in agreement with that. So on a bigger picture though, people who watch my channel know I've always had a strong opinion about US politics, and some may say, oh, wait, first of all, a lot of people probably didn't even know I was from Canada, but it's a fact. I mean, this is the funny thing. I'm from right here, which is, you know, Toronto, just on the right side of the lake, about to move here. So as far as me having an opinion about US politics for the last few years, you know, all I have to say about that is living in this city, first of all, if you were down to the beach in Toronto, if you were to swim for 15 miles, which I wouldn't advise right now because it's freezing cold water, but just to emphasize a point, you swim for 10, 15 miles out and you're already at the US border, just to give you an indication of how close we are. Half of all the air pollution in Toronto, which kills approximately 1,000 people every summer, premature deaths due to respiratory illness, comes from the United States. So I think that gives me a right to have an opinion about, you know, the pollution coming out of coal power plants in the United States, things that affects me. Half of all the gun murders that happen in Toronto are committed with guns that are smuggled over the border illegally from the United States. So I think that enables me to have an opinion about the lack of gun safety laws in the United States. You know, the water pollution that goes into the Great Lakes in Chicago and Detroit goes down the Great Lakes, and I'm drinking it in here in Toronto. And I'm not to give the impression that it's all bad come from the States. You know, we do the same thing. The pollution that's washing into Lake Ontario from Toronto, y'all are drinking it in Rochester, y'all are drinking it in Buffalo, goes down the St. Lawrence River, you're drinking it in Maine. The food that we eat is grown in the state of California for the most part. So, you know, that gives me great concern with the massive fires that are happening there, the drought, the climate change. And of course, you know, we get so many amazing, incredible things from across the border as well, like the influence of democracy in the first place, you know, incredible American music, culture, movies. I don't want to give the impression I'm saying only bad things come from the United States. A lot of incredible things come from the United States, a lot of incredible influences politically, culturally as well. What I'm trying to say is that our countries are completely integrated, that this border is artificial, and that everything that you do in the United States affects us. It obviously affects the whole planet. What we do in Canada affects you. If an American were to have any interest whatsoever in Canadian politics and have an informed opinion, I think we'd all be interested in what you had to say about that. But anyways, right now, I guess I'm not going to be a Canadian, or I'm not going to be living in Canada. I'm going to be a Canadian for life when I say. Anyways, right now, okay, cut. No, don't cut. Anyways, from now on, that's all kind of academic because I'm actually going to be living in the United States, and I'm going to be in a taxation with no representation type situation. I'm going to be, even though I won't have a vote, I am going to be paying taxes to the US government. So I hope you will maybe yeah, lastly, I don't make this video too long. I just want to say thank you once again to everyone who's helped me along the way. I'm doing my best to put out a video a week. I've got so many things to say. I've got so many good ideas, so many scripts written, a lot of videos already recorded. I haven't had a chance to edit. I mean, I'm doing my best. I appreciate, I guess, your patience because I'm working a full-time job now, and I've got music I also want to finish recording. You know, I need to eat and sleep and have a life and stuff too, but I'm still going to be doing my best. But I really want your opinion as well as far as what you want to see and hear out of this channel. There's a ton of different topics that interest me, and a lot of people, you know, say, oh, YouTube, you should just pick one thing and just do that one thing. But my brain is not limited in a box and saying, you know, only talk about this. As you know, I'm extremely interested about life in the universe. So I will be talking about that. You know, talking about obviously animal rights, veganism, and just sharing music that isn't political at all. The music that's just to get you going crazy in the gym, just to dance to, just to vibe out to, you know, just to hopefully blow your mind. That's why, one of the reasons I've been making music ever since I discovered this incredible toy, if you want to call it that. I guess that's all for now. Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, Happy Saturnalia, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know what I'm forgetting, but just have great holidays, and most importantly, get crunk on New Year's Eve. Don't drive if you're gonna get crunk, but have a fucking amazing New Year's Eve. Have a fucking amazing 2018, and much love to you. Thank you. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Toronto Pig Save Represent. Find the local save movement in your city. And like the sign says, in the meantime, yeah.